Alright guys, so today we're going to be talking about cancellations and more specifically the processes in which to go through if someone does cancel their visit without rescheduling. So the first thing I want to point your attention to is our cancellation policy. So in order to find that, all you need to do is go to TheraFit Rehab's shared folder. You open up the forms. Inside there's a folder called Patient Forms. And then in here, you're just going to go to the 2017 patient registration packet, and you can see you want to be pulling up the one that has been updated the most recently. So as of this video, that would be the 10/17/17. So I'm going to go ahead and open this. So in here, you're going to see one of 10 forms. And oftentimes, when we have a patient commit to our program, at the initial eval is where we start talking about the cancellation policy. So when the therapist determines the plan of care, meaning exactly how the patient is going to be treated, one of the things that the therapist is talking about in there is the frequency of visits. So the therapist will say, in order to help your back pain, I want to see you 2 times a week for an hour each session. And this is going to help you become more active, independent, and mobile. I really think in order to hit those goals, you need to make a commitment, and they're going to really be talking about the frequency of visits, which we'll get to in another video, but for the sake of time, I want to show you this. This is our cancellation policy. You can see it's on the 8th page, and it's one section of our registration packet, and there is a place to initial right here, so that the patient confirms that they did in fact see it. The other thing that I want to be doing on initial eval is the front desk should be going over our cancellation policy. You don't need to sit here and read it verbatim, but our cancellation policy is pretty straightforward. So every patient has to abide by it. There's no exceptions or anything like that. So 24-hour appointment cancellation and late policy. TheraFit Rehab has a 24-hour cancellation policy. This policy is for all members of TheraFit Rehab and is in place out of respect for our therapists and our patients. Cancellations. We ask that you give us 24 hours notice if you must cancel an appointment. We reserve time in our schedule specifically for you and ask for your cooperation by making every effort to keep your scheduled appointments. Canceled appointments must be rescheduled for another day in the same week or the week after. We generally give 7 days to reschedule a missed appointment in order to avoid being charged. So to tell you a little bit about this, when we first sat down and made a cancellation fee, and we realized that we were going to be treating patients one-on-one. Most therapy clinics treat 3-on-1. So if they have one patient cancel, it's not a very big deal. But the fact that we're treating one-on-one and all of our therapists are treating one-on-one, it makes it a big deal when we have a canceled appointment. So when we first made this, we thought about what would be the most appropriate thing to do for a patient that has a neurological disability that's going to be more prone to canceling than Joe, who can drive himself and just has back pain. So we came up with, we have to charge we have to charge within 24 hours. It's not enough time to get a new eval on caseload. It's not enough time to call, Mary and try to get somebody in earlier, which is what we do for a cancellation, by the way. We always try to fill the sooner spots and avoid having gaps in the later spots. So anyways, going back to this, what we want to look at is, what was our goal in, implementing a cancellation policy. And our overall goal is to have those spots filled and our patients seeing us, because if they're here, they're making progress. If they're not here, they're not making progress. So what we came up with is this 24-hour cancellation policy. So if the patient cancels within 24 hours, you see here, they will get charged that $50 fee for that session. If they have 2 sessions, let's say they're an OT and PT, then they're going to get charged a $100 fine. Now, we know that people with neurological disabilities are going to have all kinds of problems. They're going to wake up, just be tired some days, which is not an excuse to miss therapy, but they're going to try to, say that it is. So in that case, we have a script for that. We just try to really influence them to come in and for their appointment and see therapy because they made that commitment. They committed to be here that day, despite the fact that they knew that they could foresee that they might be, tired or something because of their disability. Now, if they truly do have a medical emergency or something significant has come up, like they just can't get to us because of transportation issues, yes, it's out of their hands, but they will get charged that $50 fee for OT and PT unless, and this is the big thing that we do that other clinics don't do, that no one else will do, you can avoid that by rescheduling that missed appointment within the next week. You can avoid those $100 fees if you get both of your appointments rescheduled within a week. Now, that is something that we determined would be appropriate for somebody that has a neurological disability. The way that they're going to see, improvement is by coming to us and seeing us. So if we can make sure that they're still coming to their appointments, they cancel, okay, let's get them rescheduled within the next week. Let's get an extra appointment in. Now, let's say Mary has 2 appointments this week and 2 appointments next week, and she cancels her appointment this week. That means that she has to have those 4 sessions in the next 2 weeks. So that doesn't mean Mary gets to reschedule an appointment, the canceled Thursday appointment this week into the appointment next week. That means that Mary has to come 4 times in the next 2 weeks, not 3 times. So she doesn't get to push her Thursday appointment to Tuesday and then make a Thursday appointment and say, oh, I only come 2 times a week. She will be charged a $50 fee for that. So you got to watch out for that as well. If your frequency is 2 times a week, you need to come 2 times a week. If your frequency is, 1 time a week, you need to come 1 time a week. So that's how we talk to individuals that are trying to cancel like that. Now, as a front desk receptionist, you do not have the ability to waive a fee. And what you tell the patient is, I can only cancel the fee according to when I cancel this appointment, there is a timestamp that will go on, and I do not have the authority to overwrite that timestamp. The billing department will know when the cancellation request was made, and unfortunately, that's as soon as we can get it done. So we cannot avoid this fee for you. If you have a problem, please take it up with management. And as a front desk receptionist, that's what you can do. You can always push it on to management. So here's our cancellation policy. Also, if you arrive 15 minutes late to your appointment, you either need to make it up or you will be charged another $50 fee, or a $50 fee is what I meant to say there. So, when someone's showing up more than 15 minutes late consistently, then we try to get them down to once a week, or we try to just discharge them in general because it's not respectful to our therapist and it's not respectful to our clinic, and we can fill that spot with somebody that's going to be there for the duration of an hour. So that's our cancellation policy and our late fee policy. Now this is the way that we will intake cancellation on WebPT. So as I mentioned, there are scripts that you can get at the front in the front desk manual that will talk about all the different types of cancellations that we get. But let's say Mickey Mouse has an appointment at 10, and Mickey Mouse calls in complaining that he hurt his back and that he's not going to be able to make it in. Well, the first thing that I'm going to do is try to get him in anyways, because I think that even though you hurt your back, Mickey Mouse, this is a therapy clinic. We can help manage that pain. We can get you in. I can do some manual on you. And I believe that in the end, you'll walk out with in less pain than you came. So let's try to hold that commitment, try to make it in. We'll take it easy today. We'll do some massage. We'll do some ice. We'll do some, deep pressure tissue releases. So then we'll try to resolve that pain for you. And if Mickey Mouse is like, you know what, no, I really, really, really can't do it, then my next thing is, all right, well, let's try to reschedule the appointment. Because if you remember, you signed a cancellation fee When you first started with us, and I don't want you signed a policy, and I don't want you to get that fee. It's $50 up front. And if Mickey Mouse had 2 appointments, at OT and a PT, then it would be $100. So I don't want you to get that fee. So let's try to reschedule you for Friday. Do you have time at 1 o'clock? If that's good, all we need to do from here is grab that appointment, drag it over to 11 o'clock, click OK. And now what I want to do is I want to go into this by clicking on it, clicking edit, and then I want to write reschedule appointment from 1/17, patient canceled appointment with less than 24-hour notice. If this appointment is canceled, then patient is open to $100 fee. I want to put as much information in here as possible to make sure that when Friday rolls around, if Mickey Mouse cancels, then he knows that it's going to be a $100 fee because he's canceled this Wednesday and he's canceled the Friday. You do not get to make up a missed appointment. So if he misses this appointment, a rescheduled appointment, he does not get the chance to make that appointment up too. So that's what this is doing. So now I got to tell Mickey Mouse, hey, Mickey Mouse, if you miss your Friday appointment, then you will get charged $100 because you've missed this Wednesday appointment. Now you're missing the Friday appointment. So you're going to get double fee. Is that okay with you? Are you willing to commit to Friday? And let's just hope he says yes. And that, sorry for my Facebook notification. That was my gorgeous wife. But if he does reschedule that appointment and then misses it, he will get that $50 fee from rescheduling this one, and then he will get another $50 fee for missing this one. So, and you cannot reschedule a rescheduled appointment. We're just, there are so many things that just become more complicated and complicated. If you're having an issue with somebody, just tell them you do not have the authority to move this appointment after it's scheduled, because you don't, it's just a simple cut policy. If you miss the appointment, if you cancel an appointment within 24 hours, you have to make it up within the next 7 days. You get one chance to reschedule it and make it up. We can't be moving it around 10 times and trying to accommodate our entire lives to get this missed appointment so that someone doesn't get a fee. That's not going to happen. Just plain and simple. Change the appointment to the next day, write a good explanation of what happened, and that's that. So that's how we reschedule the appointment. There has to be some kind of an explanation saying this person canceled within 24 hours and it was rescheduled. So that's our policy there. Now, let's say that Mickey Mouse could not reschedule, did not want to reschedule. Well, what I will say in that case is, Mickey Mouse, I just want you to know you will be receiving a $50 fee. When I intake your cancellation, I'm going to write a very specific note as to what happened today, and I'm going to say that you did agree upon getting the $50 fee. Do you agree to get the $50 fee? Mickey Mouse says yes. So what we're going to do is we're going to go in and we're going to cancel this appointment. So we go down to here, we click cancel, and then we write in here what exactly happened. So, Mickey Mouse called in at, and then I'm just going to write a very long paragraph. It's going to be very descriptive. So we're not going to be second guessing anything. Mickey Mouse called in at 9:30 to cancel his 10 o'clock appointment, stating that he has back pain and did not want to reschedule. He just wanted to cancel. He agreed to a $50 fee and will be seen 2 times next week. I will be as precise as I can in this. If Mickey Mouse is calling because he got a flat tire, I'll say what tire it is. I would just really put something just really, really good in here. The reason being is because when they get that fee and they forget about it, maybe it goes out in the mail and they get it 2 weeks later, they're going to call you up and they're going to say, what is this $50 fee? And then what you get to do is you get to go in and save this. Let's say they call back up. You're going to go into Mickey Mouse's chart, and you're going to see this canceled visit right here from January 17th. And, all you're going to have to do is click on this little view reason, and then you'll be able to say, well, Mickey Mouse, you canceled, and then it'll just lay it out right there. All the reasons that Mickey Mouse canceled that day, rescheduled visit, patient asked to reschedule visit, patient declined, patient agreed to $50 fee. It'll be very it'll encompass the entire conversation. And that's what we want. We want for when this patient calls back for you to have a very good explanation as to why he canceled. And then we can print it out. We can send it in with the invoice if they want. But this needs to be taken care of, because the first time that you don't write something good here, you're going to get that patient that kind of one-ups you, and then you have to send it on to your supervisor, and then the supervisor has to call, and maybe we have to forgive it even though they agreed to it. It's just, please just take the time, write a really good note here as to why the patient's canceling. It makes everybody's lives 10 times easier. So that's how we handle the cancellations. Again, I'm always trying to get the patient to come in first, even if they're just feeling a little bit under the weather. If they're hawking up a lung in bed, just leave them at home. Try to encourage them to make up the appointment. But if they can, if they can't, then make sure you're just really taking in a good cancellation note. As far as missed appointments, so if a patient is canceling with less than 24 hours of notice, more than 24 hours notice. So let's say, Mickey Mouse has an appointment for Tuesday at 9 o'clock. Well, let's say 10 o'clock. Now, if Mickey Mouse is wanting to cancel this, and he's canceling, Monday at 9, then the first thing that we're going to say is, I'm so sorry to hear about your back, your car, your bed, whatever it is. When can we reschedule? I have an available appointment at Wednesday at 10. Can you make that instead? And, it's not, one thing that we have to be careful about is the quality of our question here. So ask a poor quality question, get a poor quality answer. Ask a high quality question, get a high quality answer. So that your question determines everything. So if we say to Mickey Mouse, can you make up the appointment on Wednesday? So there's a couple of different questions that we can ask here. And let's start with the worst one. Do you want to make up that appointment? That is a poor quality question. It's a yes or no question. And all Mickey Mouse has to do is say no and feel like he's, scot-free, whatever. Can you make up that appointment is another somewhat better question, but still a pretty poor quality question. Mickey Mouse can say, no, I can't. I have yada, yada, yada. Now, the best question that we can ask Mickey Mouse in this time is, when can you make that appointment up? Your plan of care says 2 times a week. You need to be seen 2 times this week. I can get you in on Wednesday or Friday. What works for you? That is a high quality question. We're giving him background on a commitment that he made to come here 2 times a week. He's canceling on a Monday. The week is wide open. He has plenty of time left to make up that appointment. That's a high quality question. Mickey's going to have a lot more to think about with that question. So we want to make sure we're asking a good question. When can you make up that appointment? Your plan of care says 2 times a week. So when's the next time you're going to be able to come in? Infusions. If someone's scheduling an infusion or a doctor's appointment over therapy, there should be a conversation there. Hey, just to let you know, when you first started this, you committed to 2 times a week. I know that you have to see your doctor, but is there another time that you could see your doctor instead of during our therapy session that we've already planned in advance for you to come to? So it's just really about, standing up for them and their therapy. This is the most important place they can be right now. Therapy, making sure they're getting and sticking to the commitments that they've made. So this is not on any account your fault. You don't have to feel, a lot of the people at the front desk feel like, they're like, it's their fault. Like they're the one that's stuck. But really, this person made a commitment to come to us 2 times a week. They put their name on a schedule, so ultimately it's up to them to make up that appointment, So that's how we feel about the cancellations. We can't help somebody if they're not here. So missed appointments are there's a difference between cancellations and missed appointments. Cancellation is within 24 hours, and missed appointment is the missed frequency. So if the person's supposed to come 2 times a week for physical therapy, they only come 1 time that week, and that's a missed therapy visit. The reason that's so important is because at our clinic, we see people pass the cap. Medicare has a cap, and they say that, you can't go over $1,900 unless A, B, and C are there. If we're saying, hey, Medicare, we want to bill past this cap, it's medically necessary for Mickey Mouse to come with us because to bill past the cap and continue with us because he has multiple sclerosis and, his condition requires more medical attention than John with a knee replacement. So we want to build past that cap. So we're going to put a modifier on, and we're going to build past the cap. And that modifier, that KX modifier, is what tells, Medicare that we can build past the cap. If we're doing that, then we're saying that therapy is important. Now, if Mickey Mouse is only coming, if we say this plan of care is going to be 2 times a week, and Mickey Mouse constantly only comes 1 time a week, and we're saying, yeah, this is medically necessary, we need to build past the cap, then obviously it's not medically necessary. Mickey Mouse could come 1 time a week, and Medicare is going to see that. And if our claim's going to review, then they're going to pull the payment from us. And yes, I mean TheraFit Rehab. We get slapped with that. We can't bill Mickey Mouse for it, even though Mickey Mouse was the one that wasn't showing. We get slapped with that. It comes out of our pocket. So that's why it is so important for you to make sure that you guys are doing your work up front. It makes it so much easier. If Mickey Mouse commits to 2 times a week physical therapy, then he needs to come 2 times a week. He doesn't get to cancel tons of appointments because ultimately that falls back on us. It puts us at risk for, Medicare revoking payments because we're not doing something that's medically necessary. And it all goes back onto Mickey, So just please make sure that you guys are following these protocols. Trust me, it is so much easier if you follow the protocols. We've been doing this for a while. If you follow these protocols, just follow the scripts. Stick with the scripts and you will be good. It really is. It's like our cancellation policy is more than fair. Their commitment to 2 times a week and us upholding that, making them or helping to uphold that commitment is more than fair. So if you guys have any questions, please ask your supervisor. Thank you.